Hi, beautiful souls. This is Marie Miller with the House of Kellen, also known as the Spiritual Peak. And this is day 12 of the Happiness Challenge. And we are talking about love. And of course, as I say the word love, my kitty jumps onto my lap to join us today because she was a really good example of unconditional love. But yesterday we talked about, the way the Greeks define love and the types of love that we can feel from different types of people. And today we're going to talk about just the definition that we each have in our own body, in our own mind, of what love is, right? Because we come into this life with this unconditional love from the Creator, but as we learn and grow and as our beliefs shift, then we may find different definitions of love that may not be quite in line with what our tiny, beautiful soul thinks love is when it first comes down to this plane. Right. So, and a lot of this is going to be like, is it really safe for us to love? Because what will happen is when we're little, love will be modeled to us in rather unhealthy ways, right? There'll be parents who say, I'm doing this because I love you, or this hurts me more than it hurts you. So that whole idea of tough love can be really rough on a tender soul. And what will happen is if there is any sort of hitting, any sort of belittling or diminishing of a person, of a person's light, along with the person's words, I love you, then that little body doesn't know the difference between love and abuse. So it's going to think those are the two same things. So you can grow up with this definition of love being love is someone who criticizes me. That was one of my big ones. Or love is abuse, or love is pain. Love is going to kill me, right? Because maybe that's the only way that you knew it. Because as little kids, we believe that our parents love us on some level. We're like, they're supposed to love me, and this is how they treat me. So if they love me and they treat me this way, that must be what love is, right? So it's not like we do these things on purpose. We just kind of grow up feeling this way. And then there's also the conditions that we put on love, right? Some of us are taught by the way people react to us that I have to be perfect in order to receive love, or I have to be obedient, or I have to be pretty, or I have to in order, right? But when the truth is that love is unconditional, or true love is unconditional, right? The love of the Creator is unconditional. The love that you get from your little pets is completely unconditional. And this can be hard for our souls to understand that we can actually receive unconditional love from other humans before, because maybe we've never seen it before. Like I talked the other day when I was talking about acceptance, right? That's the other part of that virtue. Is first I had to learn that love was unconditional before I could learn acceptance, right? Because I was always waiting for the people that mattered to me to criticize me. Right? I'm like, well, that's how you show love, right? Don't you care about me? Why aren't you saying nasty things about me? Because that's how things were modeled for me when I was younger. And I've come to learn that you can love someone unconditionally and you can still get the feedback you need in a way that is really kind and loving. And so what you're going to be doing in your journal is you're going to be writing down, if you go back to, because there's this idealized thing of what we think, love is, like, oh, of course, love is this and kindness. But what I want you to do is really, really breathe into your heart, take a moment to sit in a quiet place and go back to when you were little and look at how your parents and your siblings acted around you, the people who, are supposed to love you, right? And I want you to ask your 5-year-old self how they defined love based on what they were shown. And then ask your 15-year-old self what you think love was based on what you were shown. Like, did you see your parents who, fight with each other? Did you think that you have to have arguments in order for there to be passion in a relationship? Because there are some people that believe that when you argue with someone, that's just showing passion. Right. And when you see that, you may think that every time you argue with someone, that means that they actually love you because they care enough to fight for you. So, and the other thing we also want to acknowledge around this, so those are the different beliefs that we get, but a lot of times there's also a lot of trauma that can stop us from getting the love that we want, because we also may believe that love equals trauma or leads to trauma. Right. So there's a few different ways you can release all the trauma that you've had around love. I mean, of course, booking a Theta Healing session or get into a class is going to help you release some of your trauma. The other things that I found that work really well is doing some breath work sessions with a practitioner. And that way you don't always have to verbalize all of it. You can just help layers and layers of trauma release, right? And what that's going to do is as you change the beliefs around love and release all the trauma from your body's going to know that it's safe to accept love again. Okay? And we want that. We want everyone to be madly in love. And even if you don't choose to have a partner, but to have the ability to at least accept love. Because the truth is, we create our own realities, right? So if we're creating this reality, we are going to draw partners to us that reflect our negative beliefs around love, right? So if I was still going through my life believing that to love someone is to let them beat you and let them be mean to you, then I'm drawing partners who maybe believe that you show love by being tough, right? So I invite you again to go through your journal and sit with yourself, sit with the younger versions of you, and really find what are these beliefs and feelings around love that aren't working for me? What do I need to release? Right. And then I encourage you to either find some breath work, do some yoga, do some theta healing, and just help your body release layers and layers of trauma. And even if you are in a relationship and things are going well, doing this work is actually going to smooth things out too. Every time I teach any of the theta healing classes around love, like the soulmate class or the you and your inner circle or you and your significant other, I actually find that my current relationship gets deeper and deeper and deeper. All right, beautiful souls. Well, I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you really take the time to do the journaling work today and find and release everything that you find, because you are completely worthy of love. So we'll give you a few downloads before we let you go. So do you want the creator's perspective and definition of unconditional love? And that you know what it feels like to be truly loved unconditionally? And do you want to know what it feels like to go through your everyday life knowing that you're worthy of unconditional love? Do you want to know what it feels like to be able to release all the trauma from your past relationships? And that it's possible for you to let go of your old definitions of love and bring in the creator's definition of true unconditional love. If you want these downloads, just say yes. All right, beautiful souls, that is today's talk. Tomorrow, we're going to talk more about unconditional love and how to really have unconditional love even when it's kind of tough. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.